What's up, guys? So it's Sunday, 9:12 in the morning. You can see my R1's on the bike lift. We're over here at Lowriders Motorsports, and this is the reason why all this stuff is going on this. I'm gonna spend my morning hopefully getting everything done. Gonna put on a couple goodies. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully by the afternoon, maybe one or two will be done. So let's see what we got here. Whole bunch of Woodcraft stuff. We got axle sliders, engine covers, rear sets, frame sliders, more engine covers, brake pressure sensor, and of course exhaust. I got so sick and tired of this that I finally went with a Hindle 3/4 tie can with carbon tip. So hopefully we can get it all done and finish up for you today. But last and not least, I also have, if I can find it, oh, I hope I didn't forget to bring it, this. You know what that is. An Svu R1 Flashed Ecu. So this is the last piece of it. Put this over here, set that aside. So hopefully I can finish this without much trouble by myself. Yeah, I'll break down the parts as I install them to let you guys know why I chose the parts that I did and what they actually do for your bike in case you have an off. So stay tuned and let's get rolling. What's going on, guys? I do apologize that I didn't go through every single part like I said it was earlier in the video. Basically because we just got scrambled for time and all my friends came and we just all kept working on the bikes and no time to stop. But as you can see, bike's all done. I've ridden it a couple times in the last couple of weeks. I've been super swamped with work and racing just started, so a lot of snafus and Murphy's Law coming into play. But as you can see, all the parts are on, everything's good to go. But now I'm gonna take the time to go through the parts and why I got them. First, axle sliders. As you can see, they're both on, the front and the rear. The front is a through rod and the rears are just two separate pieces that go in and take the void of the spacing in the rear axle. One of the reasons why I got this, and I also got this for my race bike here, you can see axle sliders there too, is that nowadays a lot of the leader bikes especially, they come with super expensive front ends, and if you go down you risk tweaking the lowers of these and bending them out of place and just like mushing your internals. So these little things right here are a good, cheap, inexpensive way to protect expensive parts. So that's one of the first things I got, especially because I'm rocking the old ones on this thing and I've had a few dumps in them and they stayed true. They've kept them untwisted, they kept them pretty good, in pretty good shape for me, so I'm pretty happy about that. Next thing, frame sliders. These are the mushroom-ish pucks, I call them, from Woodcraft. A lot of people really have iffy thoughts on frame sliders, mainly because they feel like anything protruding from the body has a bigger chance of hooking and flipping the bike. But these are a lot smaller than the other ones, and they're made out of pretty hard plastic that will just eat the ground instead of just catching it. So I got that mainly to protect the engine and the frame, not really the body, because the body you can replace and it's fairly inexpensive in the grand scheme of things, but the engine on the other hand, it's a very expensive component that I really don't want to replace at all. And you can see here, Woodcraft. Ooh, that's hot. I just start riding. Ooh. I got the stator cover on this side, and on this side I got the ignition trigger cover. This one is just a cover that goes over the OEM one, while the other one is a complete replacement. They look good. They add some style to the bike. I wish they made them in the same finish as the engine so it all matches, but you know, they can do it. It's a one-off. It just takes 6-7 weeks to do, so I'd rather just I didn't want to wait, so I just went with these black sliders. Keep it nice and simple. Don't really need to be too blingy on this side. And you can see they stick out. These are the aluminum black ones, and they stick out quite a fair bit, so if you end up laying it down, these will probably touch before these. And the great things about these case covers, they're made out of billet material, like just super hard aluminum, and over the magnesium covers, they hold up a lot better. And I've seen guys go down 2 or 3 times on the same case cover, and all they had to do was replace the skid plate. And I really don't want to introduce any foreign debris into the engine, especially after that transmission recall that I just got done over the winter time. Don't want to take any chances there. The last of the hard bits is the rear sets from Woodcraft. These are a lot better. I like them because they are way beefier. I have them on my bike too, my race bike as well. And you can see this one is in the upper back slot. You also have a lower forward slot. So as opposed to the old Woodcraft stuff, they really did give you some form of adjustments here. Not so much to where it's like a Swiss cheese plate where the rigidity of the actual bracket itself is compromised. These are still solid. I should know because I've dumped a couple times, and the only thing that's ever broken on these were the pegs because they snap off right there. Same thing on the clutch side. I mean the brake side. The brake side is a little bit more intricate. There's a lot more pieces to it, so it took a little bit longer to install than the clutch side. But once it's on, and it's on pretty well. I mean, it's machined. It looks really good. I really like the black bits on this one. But of course, the main thing is the handle. Ooh. this thing on really the first ride, I was kind of more or less gonna say worried because it was pretty loud. It was louder than I expected it to be. As far as the fit and finish, you know, as I mentioned, when I thought of Hindle, I thought of just the old quality they used to have and how pretty crappy that used to be. But you know, these new cans look really good. They're the diamond cut shaped Evolution canisters, and I really, for the price, I wanted to give it a try, and you know, I'm not let down by it at all. Few things here and there with the install, but overall, it sounds friggin' pretty badass. And you couple that with the Svu ECU reflash, it's a monster. This thing pops. I know popping is not really that great, but it pops because of how Svu has their engine management system flashing for the engine braking. On the engine braking, it pops a little bit more. I mean, I've addressed that with Justin over at Svu. He said not to really worry too much about it, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And the last thing you can't see installed in here is Gray's smog block off plates, and I think that they are the most tedious install of this whole process, because you have to take the tank off, you have to take the air box off, you gotta go through you gotta take out the air box, the throttle bodies and all that. Maybe not the throttle bodies, I can't really remember, but all I know is we had to take the whole freaking top off just to get to the smogs. That was the most time consuming and really pain in the butt part of this whole process. But as you can see, the bike is pretty stout, and I think for now I am alright with not doing anything else to it. Maybe I'm going to start suspension tweaks, as I am debating taking this thing to the track, because it really can't open it up on the streets at all, which kind of stinks because I keep riding my 600 all the time. I ride this bike more in the last month than I have my street bike, which is kind of unfortunate because I'm so busy. I apologize for that. My camera died as the last bit, so I had to borrow one of my teammates' cameras. But yeah, if you haven't already heard the sound clip from this, I'll put it in a link below. You can click that link. You can see a before and after sound clip of the exhaust install. And tell me what you think. If you like the exhaust, if you don't like the exhaust, if you like the mods, what else would you have done different? You know, I'm open for suggestions. I'm looking for something else to do, but not in the meantime, because race season's here, and my focus is on that thing primarily right now. This big behemoth yellow beast. Not really a beast, but this is the beast. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of what I've done to the R1. Catch you guys later.